They are still alive. 25 oldest black musicians you didn't know. What if I told you that some of the greatest voices in black music history, the very legends who gave us Motown Southern soul and unforgettable blues anthems, are still alive today? Yes, the icons you thought were only history are still walking among us, still singing and still carrying the flame of an era that changed the world. This isn't just nostalgia, it's living history. So buckle up as we reveal 25 of the oldest black musicians you didn't know are still here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence. Lamont Dozier. Lamont Dozier, born on June 16, 1941 in Detroit, Michigan, was one of the towering creative forces behind the Motown sound that defined the 1960s. As one-third of the legendary songwriting and production team, Holland Dozier Holland, alongside brothers Brian and Eddie Holland, he helped shape the soundtrack of a generation. This powerhouse trio was responsible for more than 200 hits. My Baby Love Stop, In the Name of Love and You Can't Hurry, Love for the Supremes, Reach Out, I'll Be There for the Four Tops, and How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You for Marvin Gaye. Few songwriters in history have had such a profound cultural and commercial impact. Dozier wasn't just a behind-the-scenes figure. He also pursued a successful career as a solo artist, releasing albums throughout the 1970s and 1980s. His song, Trying to Hold On to My Woman, reached the Billboard Top 20 in 1973, proving his ability to shine both as a writer and performer. Over the course of his career, Dozier's works sold tens of millions of records worldwide, cementing his status. He was honored with induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1988 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990 at Rare. But beyond the numbers and accolades, Lamont Dozier's gift was his ability to write songs that combined infectious melodies with deeply human emotions. He captured the universal experiences of love, heartbreak, and joy in ways that resonated across race, class, and geography. His music was not only Motown's engine, but also a bridge that brought people together during a turbulent era in American history. Though he passed away on August 8, 2022, at the age of 81, Lamont Dozier's spirit lives on through every note, harmony, and lyric he left behind. His legacy is proof that music, when created with heart and truth, never dies. It simply echoes across generations, reminding us of the timeless power of soul. Martha Reeves. Martha Rose Reeves, born July 18, 1941 in Eufaula, Alabama, but raised in Detroit, was one of the most influential voices of the Motown era. Best known as the lead singer of Martha and the Vandellas, Reeves helped bring soul and R&B music to its peak in the 1960s. Joining Motown in 1962, Reeves quickly became the center of a string of timeless hits. With her fiery, soulful voice, she gave the world unforgettable tunes. Heat Wave 1963, an energetic song that climbed to the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100, Dancing in the Street. 1964, a song that would become a symbol of the American Civil Rights Movement. Nowhere to Run 1965, expressing the power and desire to escape from a dead end. And Jimmy Mack 1967, a sweet nostalgic ballad. These songs not only topped the charts, but also became part of the collective memory of many generations. In addition to her career with the Vandellas, Reeves has also pursued a solo career. In 1974, she released the album Martha Reeves and continued to record and perform for decades. Reeves is also an artist and a community servant. From 2005 to 2009, she served as a Detroit City Councilwoman focusing on arts development and youth advocacy. In 1995, Martha and the Vandellas were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, cementing their status as one of the most influential female groups in the history of popular music. Do you think Dancing in the Street is simply a fun song, or is it actually a powerful call to arms tied to the American Civil Rights Movement? Today at 83, Martha Reeves continues to perform at special events, do interviews, and inspire audiences around the world. Her 6-decade career is a testament to the power of music to both bring joy and serve as a tool for social change. Martha Reeves was more than just a Motown singer. She was a living testament to the history of American music and culture. Otis Williams. Otis Williams, born October 30th, 1941 in Texarkana, Texas, is one of the great pillars of American music. He was not only a founding member, but also the only surviving member of the original lineup of The Temptations, the boy band, that defined the Motown sound and became a legend in R&B history. Entering Motown in 1961. The Temptations quickly made a name for themselves with their blend of sweet vocals, seductive performance style, and sharp choreography. Hits like My Girl, 1964, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. 1966, I Wish It Would Rain, 1967. Cloud 9, 1968, and especially Papa was a Rollin' Stone. 1972 cemented the group as one of the greatest soul bands of all time. Otis Williams was the keeper of the flame, patiently steering the Temptations through countless lineup changes, personal tragedies, and music industry turmoil. Over their 60-year career, the Temptations have won 3 Grammy Awards, including Best R&B Vocal Performance for Cloud 9 and Best R&B Vocal Performance by a duo or group for Papa was a Rollin' Stone. In 1989, the group was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, affirming their global influence. Otis Williams himself has become a symbol of perseverance and loyalty to music. Off-stage, he is also the author of the autobiography Temptations, 1988, which was later adapted into the popular TV series The Temptations in 1998. His story shows not only the glamour, but also the difficulties behind the scenes, where a leader must keep the spirit of the group. Now, 83. Otis Williams continues to perform with the Temptations, proving that music can transcend time. He is not just a singer, but also a leader, a keeper of a legacy, so that every time the melody of My Girl or Just My Imagination plays, we see the shadow of a legend still living, still singing, and still inspiring the next generation. Ronnie McNear. Ronnie McNear. Born December 14, 1951 in Camden, Alabama, is a prominent soul, R&B singer, songwriter, and producer who has helped keep the Motown legacy alive for decades. Although not an original member, McNear became a household name when he joined the Four Tops in 1988, replacing Lawrence Payton following his death. With his smooth, refined vocals, McNear breathed new life into the legendary group. Before joining the Four Tops, Ronnie McNear had an impressive solo career. His debut album, Ronnie McNear 1972, released by RCA Records, brought him widespread recognition with the song Sitting in My Class. He followed it up with albums such as Love's Comin' Down 1976, Life and Love 1981, and Ronnie Mack and Company 1984. His compositions were often light soul mixed with funk and R&B, demonstrating his versatility and sophistication as a writer. With the Four Tops, McNear proved to be an excellent fit. His voice was powerful enough to maintain the soulful quality of the group, yet soft enough to blend with the other members. As a result, the group continued to tour the world, maintaining its position as one of Motown's most beloved boy bands. In addition to performing, Ronnie McNear also teaches and guides young talents, affirming his role as a teacher in the music industry. He has also collaborated with many great artists, contributing significantly to the preservation and development of traditional R&B music. At 73, Ronnie McNear continues to perform, compose, and contribute to music. He is proof that even if he is not a pioneer with talent and dedication, an artist can completely become the soul keeper of an entire musical legacy. When mentioning McNear, fans immediately think of a warm voice and an undying spirit of loyalty to Motown. Smokey Robinson. William Smokey Robinson, Jr. Born February 19, 1940, in Detroit, Michigan, is one of the greatest artists in the history of American music. He was not only a singer and songwriter, but also a major architect of the Motown sound, which changed the face of R&B and soul in the 1960s. Smokey was the founder and lead singer of The Miracles, with a series of immortal songs such as Shop Around 1960, You've Really Got a Hold on Me. 1962, The Tracks of My Tears. 1965, And I, Second That Emotion. 1967. In particular, the ballad The Tears of a Clown, 1970, became one of the group's biggest hits, topping both the US and UK charts. With his sweet tenor voice mixed with a smooth falsetto, Smokey Robinson conquered the hearts of millions of listeners. Robinson was not only a performer, but also a talented songwriter. He was the man behind a series of hits for other Motown artists: My Girl for the Temptations, My Guy for Mary Wells, and Don't Mess with Bill for the Marvelettes. As vice president of Motown, Smokey contributed greatly to the growth of the record label, helping Berry Gordy turn Motown into a globally famous hit factory. After leaving the Miracles in 1972, Smokey Robinson continued his solo career with hits such as Cruisin' 1979 and Being With You 1981. To date, he has released over 25 albums and continues to perform regularly around the world. Smokey's prolific career has earned him many honors. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987, received the Grammy Legend Award in 1990, and the National Medal of Arts in 2002. In 2016, he was also awarded the Library of Congress Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. At 84, Smokey Robinson still performs regularly and maintains his rich emotional voice that amazes audiences. He is not only an icon of an era, but also a living testament to the enduring power of music, something that can transcend time and generations. Dionne Warwick. Marie Dionne Warwick, born December 12, 1940 in East Orange, New Jersey, is one of the greatest female singers in American music history with a career spanning more than 6 decades. She is best known for her clear, soulful voice and her refined songwriting, establishing herself as a leading female figure in pop, soul, and adult contemporary music during the 1960s-1980s. Dionne Warwick became an icon when she collaborated with the songwriting duo Burt Bacharach and Hal David. This combination created a series of immortal songs such as Walk On. By 1964, Do You Know the Way to San Jose, 1968, which earned her her first Grammy, I Say a Little Prayer, 1967, and Alfie, 1966. These songs not only dominated the charts, but also proved that Warwick was one of the singers who could tell stories through music, turning each song into a work of rich imagery and emotion. During her career, she had more than 75 songs enter the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts, selling tens of millions of records. Warwick also won 6 Grammy Awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award 2019. In 1985, she lent her voice to the famous charity song That's What Friends Are For with Elton John, Gladys Knight, and Stevie Wonder. The song topped the charts and raised millions of dollars for the fight against AIDS. Not only an artist, Dionne Warwick is also an active social activist. She was a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, participated in HIV/AIDS awareness campaigns, and many other humanitarian activities. At 84, Dionne Warwick continues to perform, appearing on television and social media, where she connects with a whole new generation of audiences. She is not only celebrated as a living musical icon, but also a testament to the enduring power of her voice and artistry. When people think of Dionne Warwick, they think of more than just a Motown diva. They think of a global legend. Gladys Knight. Gladys Maria Knight, born May 28, 1944 in Atlanta, Georgia, is known as the Empress of Soul. With a career spanning over 7 decades, she has left behind a legacy of profound and emotional music that has been admired by audiences around the world. Knight began her singing career at the age of 7, winning Ted Mack's Original Amateur Hour in 1952. Just 2 years later, she formed the Pips with her brother and 2 cousins. The group later became Gladys Knight and the Pips, one of the most successful soul bands of all time. From the 1960s to the 1980s, they released a series of hit songs such as Every Beat of My Heart, 1961, I Heard It Through the Grapevine. 1967, If I Were Your Woman, 1970. Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye, 1973. and especially the immortal hit Midnight Train to Georgia 1973, a song that won a Grammy and became an icon in American culture. During her career, Gladys Knight won 7 Grammy Awards, sold millions of records, and was inducted into the Apollo Hall of Fame 2006 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 1996 with the Pips. Not only was she a commercial success, she was also praised for her ability to convey intense emotions, making each song a story that touches the listener's heart. In addition to her music, Knight has also acted in films and television, and is active in charity work. She has also been open about her personal challenges, from a troubled marriage to overcoming temptations in life, showing the strength behind the spotlight. At 81, Gladys Knight continues to perform, bringing her powerful voice and warmth to the world. She is not only an artist, but also a living testament to the power of faith, love, and music. Her legacy affirms that timeless soul will live on forever. William Mickey Stevenson. William Mickey Stevenson, born January 4th, 1937 in Detroit, Michigan, is best known as the first A&R director of Motown Records and one of the key figures behind the birth of a series of immortal hits. If Berry Gordy was the chief architect of the Motown empire, then Mickey Stevenson was the talent hunter who turned rough gems into shining stars. Joining Motown in 1959, Stevenson quickly demonstrated a natural ability to find, train, and develop artists. He was instrumental in discovering Martha Reeves, who became the lead singer of Martha and the Vandellas. Stevenson also played a key role in building the legendary team of musicians known as the Funk Brothers, who were behind Motown's signature sound. Stevenson was also a talented songwriter. He co-wrote the 1964 song Dancing in the Street with Marvin Gaye and Ivy Jo Hunter, which not only became a chart hit, but also a cultural icon and rallying cry for the civil rights movement. He also co-wrote Stubborn Kind of Fellow for Marvin Gaye Beechwood, 45789 for the Marvelettes, and many other songs that contributed to Motown's golden sound. By the late 1960s, Stevenson had left Motown to form his own label, People Records, and collaborated on a number of musical and theatrical projects. Though he was not as well known as the singers on stage, his legacy was priceless. Dozens of Billboard hits, a host of artists who became legends, and a musical legacy that changed American culture. In 2019, Mickey Stevenson was recognized as a Motown Museum Legacy honoree, honoring his pioneering role. At 88, he is still considered the man behind the scenes who lit the Motown flame and left an indelible mark on music history. William Bell. William Bell, born July 16, 1939 in Memphis, Tennessee, is one of the pioneering voices of Southern soul music. He is best known as the first solo artist signed to Stax Records, a label that became an icon of soul and R&B in the 1960s and 1970s. With a career spanning more than 6 decades, William Bell was not only a singer, but also a talented songwriter, writing timeless songs that still resonate today. Bell's first hit, You Don't Miss Your Water, 1961, quickly became a soul classic covered by artists such as Otis Redding and the Byrds. It also marked the beginning of his brilliant career. Bell continued to assert his position with songs such as Everybody Loves a Winner, 1967, I Forgot to Be Your Lover, 1968, and Private Number, a duet with Judy Clay. Each song clearly depicts Bell's signature style, deep lyrical, and imbued with the spirit of the American South. Not just a performer, William Bell was also an excellent songwriter. He co-wrote Born Under a Bad Sign for Albert King, a song that would become one of the most covered blues songs with over 50 versions from Eric Clapton to Cream. After Stax collapsed in the late 1970s, Bell persevered and continued to release new projects. In 2016, at age 77, he released This Is Where I Live, which won the 2017 Grammy for Best Americana Album. Proof that true talent never goes away. Today, at 86, William Bell continues to write, perform, and inspire new generations. With more than 6 decades of dedication, he is not only a performer, but also a living witness to the rise and fall of soul and blues, a legend that remains a part of the history of black music. Maxine Brown. Maxine Ella Brown, born August 18, 1939 in Kingstree, South Carolina, was one of the most soulful R&B and soul singers of the 1960s. Although not as widely promoted as Diana Ross or Martha Reeves, she left a strong mark with many solo hits and became an inspiration for the next generation. Brown began her singing career singing in New York churches before entering the professional recording studio. In 1960, she released the single All in My Mind, a soulful ballad that quickly climbed to number 2 on the R&B charts and entered the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100. This success opened the way for her career to expand, followed by Funny 1961 and Oh No, Not My Baby 1964, a song written by Carole King and Jerry Goffin that was later covered by major artists such as Rod Stewart Cher and Aretha Franklin. Maxine Brown's career was characterized by a blend of traditional soul and soft pop, making her one of the most diverse black female singers of her time. Her voice was described as powerful yet smooth, different from the aggressive style of other R&B divas of the era. In addition to her solo career, Maxine Brown was a member of the Angels and collaborated with artists such as Chuck Jackson. She was also signed to Wand Records, where she continued to prove her ability with a series of critically acclaimed songs, although not all of them were commercial successes. Notably, Brown continued to perform at soul festivals in the 1980s and 1990s, keeping a career that spanned more than half a century alive. She has been celebrated at numerous retrospectives and is considered one of the unpolished gems of classic R&B. Now 86, Maxine Brown remains a living testament to the 1960s soul boom. She reminds us not only of the power of music, but also of the underappreciated talents who helped lay the foundations for modern R&B. Carla Thomas. Carla Venita Thomas, born December 21, 1942 in Memphis, Tennessee, is known as the Queen of Memphis Soul. She is the daughter of famed singer Rufus Thomas and was raised in an artistic environment from a young age. Carla's career was tied to Stax Records, where she became one of the first female stars to help the label define its distinctive Southern soul sound. In 1960, at the age of 18, Carla Thomas released the duet "'Cause I Love You" with her father, a hit that quickly became a hit in the Memphis area. A year later, she had her big break with Gee Whiz, Look at His Eyes, which reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the top 5 on R&B, cementing her status as a young star. The song went on to become one of the classic love songs of the 1960s. Carla's career continued to flourish with a series of hits such as Baby 1966, reaching the Billboard Top 20 Let Me Be Good to You and I Like What You're Doing to Me. With her sweet but emotional voice, she quickly became a role model for many young female singers pursuing soul music. In addition to her solo career, Carla also collaborated with Otis Redding on the duet album King and Queen 1967. This album brought many hits, such as Tramp and Knock on Wood, further cementing her position in the American soul music scene. Despite her success, Carla Thomas gradually withdrew from the spotlight in the late 1970s, focusing on education and community activities in Memphis. However, her influence is still widely recognized. In 2013, Carla Thomas was inducted into the Memphis Music Hall of Fame, recognizing her significant contributions to the city's music scene and to soul in general. Today, at 82, Carla Thomas remains a Stax Records icon and one of the founding voices of Southern soul. Her legacy continues to resonate, reminding us that the Queen of Memphis Soul will forever be a part of black music history. Mavis Staples. Mavis Staples, born July 10, 1939 in Chicago, Illinois, is one of the most legendary voices of soul and gospel music and a living symbol of the American civil rights movement. She is best known as the lead singer of the Staple Singers, a family band that has left a lasting mark not only on music, but also on social history. The Staple Singers, led by their father Roebuck Pops Staples, used music as a tool for social change in the 1960s and 1970s. With her deep, powerful, and inspiring voice, Mavis Staples delivered songs that were both artistically beautiful and deeply meaningful. Songs like Respect Yourself, 1971, I'll Take You There, 1972, and If You're Ready, Come Go With Me. 1973 not only became huge Billboard hits, but also fight anthems with messages of solidarity and social justice. She and the group stood side by side with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., marching and performing at key events of the civil rights movement, making Staples one of the few artists who is closely linked to both the evolution of music and the progress of American history. After the group disbanded, Staples pursued a solo career collaborating with artists ranging from Prince to Bob Dylan to Wilco. Her 2010 album, You Are Not Alone, produced by Jeff Tweedy, earned her a Grammy Award for Best Americana Album in 2011. In 2017, she continued to impress with If All I Was Black, affirming that she still retains her spirit of resistance and inspiration. In 1999, the Staples singers were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, while Mavis Staples was awarded the Kennedy Center Honors in 2016 and the Gershwin Prize in 2019. At age 86, she continues to perform a living testament to the enduring power of music combined with justice and faith. Mavis Staples was more than just a singer. She was the voice of a generation and proof that music can both touch hearts and change the world. Swamp Dogg born Jerry Williams Jr. on July 14, 1942 in Portsmouth, Virginia, is one of the most unique and difficult to classify artists in American music history. He began his career in the 1950s under the stage name Little Jerry Williams, releasing a few R&B records as a teenager. But it wasn't until 1970, when he was reborn as Swamp Dogg, that he truly came into his own, a strange, bold, and profound identity. His first album under the Swamp Dogg name, Total Destruction to Your Mind, 1970, became a cult classic. It blended soul, funk, country, and rock with satirical, sometimes shocking lyrics, but always with a strong social message. Subsequent albums, such as Rat On 1971, famous for its bizarre cover of him riding a giant rat, and Cuffed, Collared, and Tagged 1972, further established him as a soul maven. What sets Swamp Dogg apart is his mix of humor and seriousness. He sings about love, politics, human rights, and the mundane aspects of everyday life. Many critics consider him one of the pioneers in bringing social satire to soul and funk. He has influenced artists from Kid Rock to The Roots. In your opinion, does Swamp Dogg's differentness help him become a forever remembered legend? Or does it make his name less popular than the Motown stars? Throughout his career, Swamp Dogg has released more than 20 albums, with recent works such as Love Loss and Autotune 2018 or Sorry You Couldn't Make It 2020, proving that at the age of over 80, he is still creative and willing to experiment. At 83, Swamp Dogg continues to perform, collaborating with younger artists and bringing his quirky yet humanistic music to a new generation. He is proof that originality and daring to be different can leave a lasting legacy. Jerry Butler Jr., born December 8, 1939 in Sunflower, Mississippi, is one of the deepest voices in soul music, affectionately known to his fans as the Iceman. He is not only a successful singer, but also a songwriter, producer, and influential politician in the community. Butler rose to fame with The Impressions, where he collaborated with Curtis Mayfield. The group's debut, For Your Precious Love, 1958, with Butler on lead vocals, became a soul classic, reaching the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100 and selling over 1 million copies. He then left the group to pursue a solo career, beginning a prolific career that spanned several decades. During his solo career, Jerry Butler released more than 50 albums and had more than 40 songs chart on the Billboard R&B charts. Notable hits include He Will Break Your Heart, 1960, #1 R&B, Only the Strong Survive, 1969, Top 5 Billboard Hot, 100 Never Gonna Give You Up, 1968, and Ain't Understanding Mellow, 1972. Duet with Brenda Lee, Eager. Butler's music is praised for its calmness, sophistication, and ability to convey deep emotion, true to his ice-cold but sexy image. In addition to singing, Butler is also a talented composer. He co-wrote many popular songs for other artists and made important contributions to the development of Chicago soul. He also entered politics, serving as a councilman of Cook County, Illinois from 1985 to 2018, becoming a rare example of an artist who has been involved in public service for more than 3 decades. Jerry Butler was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1991, along with the Impressions, confirming his enduring influence. Now 85. Butler rarely appears on stage, but is still admired as one of soul's greatest male vocalists. He is proof that art and social responsibility can go hand in hand, leaving a legacy that goes far beyond music. Gene Chandler. Gene Chandler. Real name: Eugene Dixon, born July 6, 1937 in Chicago, Illinois, was one of the classic R&B and soul vocalists of the 1960s, forever remembered by his fans as the Duke of Earl. The song of the same name, released in 1962, became a cultural phenomenon, not only topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 consecutive weeks, but also selling over 1 million copies, earning Chandler a gold disc and turning him into an international star overnight. The success of Duke of Earl helped Chandler establish his unique image. The opulent cape, cane, and crown that the Duke became an iconic stage presence. Chandler was not a one-hit wonder, however. Throughout his career, he demonstrated a rare ability to adapt, continuing to release hits such as Rainbow 1963, Nothing Can Stop Me, 1965, and Groovy Situation 1970. A top 15 Billboard Hot 100 hit that proved his enduring appeal across the decades. In addition to singing, Gene Chandler also had a career in music production and management. He worked as a producer for Curtis Mayfield and many other artists in the Chicago soul movement. Chandler was also deeply involved in the industry, contributing to the development of R&B and disco music in the 1970s. In a career spanning more than 50 years, he released more than 30 albums and dozens of singles that reached the R&B charts. For his outstanding contributions, Chandler was honored with the Rhythm and Blues Foundation Pioneer Award in 1997 and is admired as one of Chicago's most successful soul artists. Today, at the age of 88, Gene Chandler is still considered a living witness to the golden era of R&B. His legacy lies not only in his chart-topping songs, but also in his creativity, innovation, and ability to keep his name alive for generations of audiences. Marshall Thompson. Marshall Thompson, born August 24, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois, is the founder and sole surviving member of the legendary group, the Chi-Lites. Known as the godfather of the Chi-Lites, he has kept the group's legacy alive for more than 6 decades, becoming one of the most important witnesses of the soul and R&B era of the 1970s. The Chi-Lites, formed in the late 1950s, rose to fame in the 1970s with their smooth, soulful songs. The group produced many immortal songs such as Have You Seen Her, 1971, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 Oh Girl, 1972, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and becoming one of the most classic soul songs of all time, along with many other hits such as A Letter to Myself, 1973, and The Coldest Days of My Life. With the leadership of Marshall Thompson, the Chi-Lites became Chicago's most successful R&B group, leaving a deep mark on romantic soul music. Despite the many upheavals from the departure of members like Eugene Record to lineup changes, Marshall Thompson has persevered to keep the Chi-Lites on stage. He continues to tour the world, performing the songs that made the group legendary. Because of that perseverance, the Chi-Lites are still loved by audiences across generations. In 2021, the Chi-Lites were honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a historic milestone that recognized more than 60 years of dedication to music. This event was also the result of Marshall Thompson's tireless efforts to maintain and promote the group's name. At 83, Marshall Thompson continues to perform, proving that music transcends age and time. He is not just a singer, but also a keeper of a legacy, where every tune of the Chi-Lites still resonates as a testament to love, nostalgia, and the enduring vitality of soul. Russell Tompkins Jr. Russell Tompkins Jr., born March 21, 1951, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is the signature falsetto singer who made the Stylistics one of the icons of romantic soul music in the 1970s. With his soaring, soft, and emotional voice, he left an indelible mark on a series of timeless love songs moving millions of audiences. Joining the Stylistics when they formed in the late 1960s, Tompkins quickly became the band's soul. Under the production of Tom Bell, one of the architects of the Philadelphia sound, the Stylistics released a series of smash hits: You Are Everything, 1971, Betcha by Golly, Wow, 1972, I'm Stone in Love with You, 1972, and You Make Me Feel Brand New, 1974. These songs all reached the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 and at the same time became the standard of romantic soul. Russell Tompkins Jr.'s special ability to convey emotion through each high note. His falsetto was not only technical but also sincere, transporting the listener into a world filled with love and longing. As a result, the Stylistics sold millions of records, becoming the most prominent soul group in Philadelphia in the 70s. In your opinion, is Russell Tompkins Jr.'s falsetto voice the most important factor in the Stylistics' success? After leaving the group in 2000, Tompkins formed Russell Tompkins Jr. and the new Stylistics, continuing to tour and maintaining his original musical style. He also released the solo album A Matter of Style 2002, which showcased his creative abilities despite being associated with the group. Tompkins' contributions are widely recognized. Critics consider him one of the greatest falsetto voices in the history of soul, alongside legends such as Eddie Kendricks, The Temptations, and Philip Bailey, Earth, Wind, and Fire. At 74, Russell Tompkins Jr. is still performing, proving that the voice, if nurtured with passion, is timeless. His legacy lies not only in his timeless hits, but also in the way he made love and emotion the centerpiece of soul. Fred Cash. Fred Cash, born October 8, 1940, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, was one of the founding members of the legendary band The Impressions. Although not an original founder, he joined the group in 1960, replacing Jerry Butler, and has since become the backbone that has kept The Impressions' signature harmonious style going for decades. The Impressions are known as one of the pioneers of soul combining gospel R&B and a strong social message. Featuring Fred Cash alongside Curtis Mayfield and Sam Gooden, the group created timeless songs such as People Get Ready, 1965, Keep On Pushing, 1964, Amen, 1964, and We're a Winner, 1967. These were not only romantic soul songs, but also hymns of the American Civil Rights Movement, used by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in many marches. Fred Cash's steady, rich, and deep bass provided a solid foundation, highlighting Curtis Mayfield's soaring melodies. In a career spanning more than 50 years, Fred Cash and The Impressions released more than 30 albums and produced dozens of Billboard chart-topping songs. He was known as the Silent Keeper, not seeking the spotlight for himself, but always providing the group with a solid foundation to maintain harmony and unity. The Impressions were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1991 and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 2003. Additionally, People Get Ready was ranked by Rolling Stone as one of the 500 greatest songs of all time. At 84, Fred Cash rarely performs, but he remains a soul giant. His tenacity and humility are reminders that it's not always the man behind the microphone who becomes the legend. Sometimes it's the foundational voices like Fred Cash who propel music to immortality. Ernie Isley. Ernest Ernie Isley, born March 7, 1952, in Cincinnati, Ohio, was a prominent member of the legendary group the Isley Brothers. He is best known as the lead guitarist who helped take the group's music beyond traditional R&B to blend with funk and rock, creating a fresh and vibrant sound. Ernie Isley, who joined the Isley Brothers in the early 1970s, was a creative force influenced by the legendary Jimi Hendrix, who lived with the Isleys and briefly played guitar with them. This influence helped Ernie develop a free-spirited, energetic guitar style. His guitar was evident on such major hits as That Lady, 1973, Summer Breeze, 1974, Fight the Power, 1975, and Harvest for the World, 1976. His powerful riffs and solos made these songs iconic funk rock songs in the American music scene. In addition to playing guitar, Ernie was also a talented musician. He co-wrote many songs for the Isley Brothers, and also tried his hand at solo projects, such as the album High Wire 1990, demonstrating his independent creativity. In particular, he also played many other instruments, such as drums, bass, and percussion, making his contributions to the band far beyond that of a regular guitarist. Over their 5-decade career, the Isley Brothers have won numerous awards, including the 2014 Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. Ernie Isley, as the custodian of the group's funk rock soul, was integral to that success. At 73, Ernie continues to perform with the Isley Brothers, proving that his creative fire has not died. Every time his guitar sounds, the audience is transported back to the golden era of funk and soul, where the Isley Brothers once dominated the charts and the hearts of music lovers. Bobby Rush. Bobby Rush, real name Emmett Ellis Jr. Born November 10, 1933 in Homer, Louisiana, is one of the oldest living blues artists and is known as the King of the Chitlin Circuit. With a career spanning more than 7 decades, he has released more than 400 recordings, becoming one of the faces that keep the traditional blues fire burning. Rush began his career in the 1950s, performing in Southern clubs, and quickly became known for his explosive, humorous, and soulful performance. He combined blues funk and soul with bold but honest lyrics that reflected the daily lives of black people in the American South. Songs such as Chicken Heads 1971 and Sue 1983 made him a phenomenon in the blues community. However, it wasn't until he was 83 that Bobby Rush finally earned mainstream recognition. In 2017, he won a Grammy for Best Traditional Blues Album with Porcupine Meat. 4 years later, in 2021, he won another Grammy for Rawer Than Raw, demonstrating his enduring creativity at nearly 90 years old. In addition to his music, Rush is known for his masterful harmonica playing and entertaining performance style. He often combines comedy dance and direct interaction with the audience, making each performance a unique experience. It is no coincidence that he is called the people's artist who still connects with his loyal audience on small stages instead of standing in the big lights. At 91, Bobby Rush continues to tour record and contribute to the blues, the music that has been his life's work. He is a living testament to perseverance and undying passion, a reminder that the blues is not just a genre of music, but the enduring voice of an entire community. Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter, born January 14, 1936, in Montgomery, Alabama, was one of the most distinctive soul singers of the 1960s-1970s. He was known not only for his distinctive husky voice, but also for his guitar playing and songwriting. Despite being blind since childhood, Carter overcame adversity to become one of the great icons of Southern soul. After graduating from Alabama State University with a degree in music, Carter signed with Atlantic Records and quickly became a household name. His 1968 hit, Slip Away, reached the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, making him a national star. In 1970, he continued to impress with the hit Patches, which told the touching story of a poor boy overcoming adversity. The song won him a Grammy Award for Best R&B Song in 1971. Beyond soulful songs, Clarence Carter is also known for his highly entertaining, sometimes humorous and daring songs. Strokin' 1986 became one of the most popular party soul songs, helping him reach a younger audience and maintaining his appeal for decades. In your opinion, should Clarence Carter be remembered more for his soulful ballads like Patches, or his upbeat explosive songs like Strokin' in a career spanning more than 60 years? Carter has released more than 30 albums and dozens of R&B chart hits. He is a testament to the resilience and ability to innovate, constantly reinventing himself to suit the times. At 89 years old, Clarence Carter still performs occasionally and is honored at many music festivals. He is a Southern soul legend, both emotional and explosive, leaving a deep mark on the history of black music. Bettye LaVette. Bettye LaVette, born January 29, 1946 in Muskegon, Michigan, has been hailed as the greatest living female soul singer you've never heard of. Possessing a powerful, raw yet expressive voice, she turns each song into its own story, touching the hearts of listeners. LaVette began her career in 1962 at the age of 16 with the hit My Man. He's a Lovin' Man, which reached the Billboard R&B Top 10. During the 1960s-1970s, she released many impressive songs such as Let Me Down Easy 1965 and He Made a Woman Out of Me 1969. However, her career had many ups and downs due to lack of promotion from major record labels, preventing her from becoming as famous as Aretha Franklin or Gladys Knight. What makes Bettye LaVette special is her ability to recreate songs. She not only sings them but also transforms them into LaVette versions with a strong personal touch. Her album I've Got My Own Hell to Raise 2005, which included feminist covers, was critically acclaimed. Her next album, The Scene of the Crime 2007, featuring Drive-By Truckers, was nominated for a Grammy for Best Contemporary Blues Album. In 2016, she released Worthy, which received another Grammy nomination, confirming her spectacular comeback. Do you think Bettye LaVette deserves to be mentioned alongside Aretha Franklin as one of the queens of soul? Despite decades of waiting for mainstream recognition, Bettye LaVette is still performing and releasing music today at age 79. She has been honored with numerous awards, including a Blues Music Award and multiple Grammy nominations. LaVette's voice is more than just music. Its raw emotional experience, the powerful voice of a woman who has lived through it, and proof that perseverance pays off in the end. Don Bryant. Don Bryant, born April 4, 1942, in Memphis, Tennessee, is one of the most iconic voices and songwriters of Memphis soul. He was not only a solo artist, but also the author of many immortal songs for Stax Records, where he left an indelible mark in the 1960s and 1970s. Bryant began his singing career in church, and soon joined the gospel group The Four Kings as a teenager. He later signed with High Records, a prominent Memphis label, and established himself as an emotional singer. Early solo songs such as Is It Over 1965 and I Can't Stop 1969 established him in the soul community. However, Don Bryant's name shines brighter as a songwriter. He co-wrote I Can't Stand the Rain 1973, a famous hit for his wife singer Ann Peebles. The song was later covered by many international artists, from Tina Turner to Eurythmics, affirming its timeless vitality. In addition, Bryant wrote many other songs for Peebles' Otis Clay, and many High Records artists, contributing to the formation of the distinctive soul sound of Memphis. After taking a long hiatus to focus on his family and writing, Don Bryant made a surprise comeback in 2017 with the album Don't Give Up on Love. The album was nominated for a Grammy for Best Traditional Blues Album, marking a spectacular return to form after decades. In 2020, he released You Make Me Feel, which critics hailed as one of the most authentic soul projects of the year. At 83, Don Bryant is still performing and recording, proving that music knows no age limit. With a career spanning more than 6 decades, he is a rare artist who has both preserved the original spirit of soul and inspired a new generation. Don Bryant is proof that sometimes it is those who stand behind the spotlight that leave the most lasting legacy. Barbara Lynn. Barbara Lynn Ozen, born January 16, 1942 in Beaumont, Texas, was one of the few female singer-songwriters and guitarists of the 1960s. In an era when most female artists were confined to the microphone, Lynn broke the mold. She wrote her own songs, sang her own songs, and played guitar. And she was left-handed. This made her a pioneer, paving the way for many female artists to come. Barbara Lynn began her professional career when she was just 18 years old. In 1962, she signed with Jamie Records and had an immediate success with the song You'll Lose a Good Thing, which she wrote. The song not only reached #1 on the Billboard R&B chart, but also entered the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, sold over 1 million copies, and was certified gold. This was quite a feat for a young female artist at that time. After You'll Lose a Good Thing, Barbara Lynn continued to release several singles, including Second Fiddle Girl Letter to Mommy and Daddy and You're Losing Me. While none of them achieved the commercial success of her debut hit, she established herself as a soul singer with a soulful voice and soulful guitar. Notably, Elvis Presley recorded You'll Lose a Good Thing further, demonstrating Barbara Lynn's widespread influence. Throughout her career, Barbara Lynn has released more than 10 albums and toured the United States, Europe, and Japan. In 1999, she was awarded the National Heritage Fellowship, America's highest award for folk and traditional artists. In 2018, she was inducted into the Texas Music Hall of Fame. At 83, Barbara Lynn still performs at blues and soul festivals, inspiring younger generations with her unique style. She is living proof that women can pick up a guitar, write their own songs, and stand tall in a male-dominated music industry. Dee Sharp. Dee Sharp, real name. Dionne LaRue, born September 9, 1945 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was one of the first black female teen idols to achieve great success in the 1960s. She is considered the face of upbeat dance music, helping to launch America's dance craze wave. Sharp entered the professional singing scene quite by accident. In 1962, at the age of 17, she recorded the song Mashed Potato Time. The single was a surprise hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard R&B and #2 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 1 million copies and earning a gold record. The song not only made Sharp a national star, but also helped popularize the mashed potato dance, which was popular at the time. After her huge success, Sharp continued her string of dance pop hits. Gravy for My Mashed Potatoes, 1962. Ride, 1962. Do the Bird, 1963. With her youthful, bright voice and catchy melodies, she quickly became a teen icon, appearing regularly on television shows and touring across the United States. By the late 1960s, Sharp had turned to more mature soul music, signing with Gamble and Huff's Philadelphia International Records, where she continued to release songs like I Really Love You and collaborate with the Stylistics, proving herself to be not only a trendy singer, but also one with artistic depth. Dee Sharp's career spanned decades with more than 10 albums and dozens of singles. She is also recognized as one of the first black female artists to succeed in the American mainstream pop market, which at that time had few opportunities for black singers. Today, at age 79, Dee Sharp still performs at retrospective music events, asserting that her music, while entertaining, remains an important part of the legacy of American R&B and soul. These 25 legendary musicians are more than just survivors of time. They are living testaments to the power of black artistry, resilience, and innovation. From soul to blues, gospel to funk, their voices still echo across generations, reminding us that greatness never fades. But as we honor them today, a question remains. Do we as listeners truly value these living legends as much as we celebrate those who have passed? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Legends of Black Excellence for more powerful stories.